afternoon, guys. I am back. I very rarely do 2 scopes in a day. I don't sit here and try to flood the market with observations that I see, but today was necessary because earlier this morning I mentioned about dealing with setbacks, that minor and major setbacks, and how we have to deal with those. And I mentioned earlier I was supposed to be on my way to another state for an interview that I was up for tomorrow. Well, the interview got canceled. I was able to save the money from the hotel, and so I decided that, I'm going to lay down and get some rest. Well, it turns out my stomach was not feeling well, and I wasn't feeling well. And after having breakfast this morning, I went to lay down and I was out, and I am so glad that the road trip was put off, because with my stomach bothering me and not feeling well, would have been a very uncomfortable ride. And it goes along with what I was saying earlier about dealing with setbacks. We have to be prepared for them and deal with them, but sometimes setbacks are life vests. And a life vest is a form of protection. It can assist you in saving your life. Well, it wasn't that serious today, but the setback of not being able to make that road trip gave me the opportunity to get some well-needed rest, because I do a lot. But also, it prevented me from being in a very difficult position, because once you're on the road and have to keep stopping, using the bathroom, getting something to eat, getting something to drink, all of that back and forth when that's not what your plan was, can make a very simple trip seem tedious and very long. And that's what I was referring to earlier when I meant about dealing with setbacks. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. And feel free to ask any questions. I'll answer any questions. Is that we have to look for the positive, search for it. And then when we find it, enjoy it. Even as remedial as it may seem, but if it's a positive for you, hold on to it. Because I'm big on finding simple terms and then living by them. We make this life more difficult than it really is. God did not make it that difficult. It's hard for us because we interject the things that we want, the things that we like, the things that we feel we need, when in actuality we probably don't, but we make it more difficult. And I search for positives. Oh, exactly, thank you. Is that, hey butterfly, how are you? How are you feeling, by the way? Hope everything is well with you. And we have to learn that whatever the positive is, celebrate it. Cling to it. I know at my last school, as school was coming to an end, I had a conversation with a woman, and she asked me, why do I remain so positive? Why is it that every time I speak to you, you find something positive to say? And I said to her, 1, holding on to the negative requires too much energy. 2, no one likes to hang out with the negative person. They don't. They'll deal with you if they have to, but they don't want to hang out with you. And 3, who wants to muck the world up any more than it is with their own negative energy? I attempt to be a light. I attempt to be a positive light to those around me, so at least someone can say they met someone who smiled, who said thank you, who said hello, who said how are you, and actually meant how are you, meaning that if we needed to stop and talk and I don't even know you, all right, let's talk. So I am so happy. Thank you for the hearts. I am so happy that I got the opportunity to lay my behind down. I didn't realize how tired I was until I laid down. And now I'm at the drugstore about to go purchase some ginger ale, and I'm going to go in and cook dinner for the wife and princess, and then I'm probably going to go do some bowling tonight. And so, thank you. And figure out what the plan is for tomorrow, and figure out how I can get these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I have inside, thank you, darling, that I have inside my head, down on, out to the public. Yes, I said 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have a bunch of books that I'm working on, from fiction to nonfiction to inspirational to relationship, and I have to get them down and get them out, because I just feel that I can do better in the world if I do that, because that's what I do as an author, as well as teach and everything else while trying to relocate. So yes, I have a heavy plate, but this is why today's rest was needed. And honestly, the guy called, my computer, the hard drive was dead, but it's going to cost me about $200, $195 to get it fixed. Plus I have my brand new computer coming. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use a brand new computer for office work, business work, and I'm going to use my regular computer for everything else. That way I don't add no programs or nothing to my office computer. That will be strictly business, and that's it. So I'm going to make this $200 to get this computer fixed, because I am just not a fan of throwing things away. That's another thing too, is that my computer crashing could have easily been a setback that I sit around and lose my mind. Well, that's the reason why you buy the backup. That is the reason why you secure the things that you need for situations like that. Now, hearing that the computer was going to cost $200 after I had bought the new one, some people just said, I'm not wasting that money. But by spending the $200, I now can keep the new one longer, use the old one, travel with it if need be, and hopefully extend the life of both of them, all for $200. Can't beat that protection. You got to learn to work things to your advantage, even if it seemed negative at the onset. This is what we do, especially when I'm in business for myself. Being in business for myself, I'm working to where I don't want to work for anybody else. I'm just not at that luxury, because there's certain things that I want in life that right now my business can't provide for me. So I take the income from being an educator to fuel that. But my work and my passion and my goal is to get to where I don't need someone else's money and I can sustain myself. But I'm gonna be honest, why would I not take the state of New York or the city of New York's money to help fuel what I do? So I honestly hope that this helps. And if you're watching on replay, you can make sure you hit hearts on replay too. You know, don't be scared to share the love. Give a brother some hearts. I'm learning that the hearts actually help secure the message. Some people only check people out based on the number of hearts that they have. Don't make sense to me, but okay, if this is the format, there we go. Pound them hearts out. Let's go. Give a brother some hearts. I'm gonna have to start pimping for hearts. I'm gonna do a scope just on hearts. I ain't gonna do nothing but just beg for hearts, which I see in a lot of scopes. They start off with people just like screaming for hearts. But anyway, but I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, I hope that when folks watch the scopes, that it helps them in some form or fashion, because it's not just about the business that I run. It's also about the personal. It's also about relationships, because they're all interconnected. How I deal with my wife helps me in understanding how I might deal with somebody that I'm working with. How I deal with my daughter helps me with a student that I might work with. How I deal with my sons helps me with other students, other young men that I might work with. It's all interconnected. You can't be a crappy person in your personal life and think that that's not going to show itself in business. And so my scopes, I do my scopes with the hope that I can enhance someone that they find themselves to be better. I don't want you to be a better KL. You can't. I'm the best KL that there is. But if you can take something from me to be the better you, thank you. I love the heart. I was loving it. I was like, don't stop. Well, that's a different scope. But anyway. But that is my hope, is that I can find a way to enhance you, or that you can take something that I give to this format and put it with whatever you're doing, and it make you better. That's what an educator does. I can't force students to learn. Yes, I can force you to sit in your seat, because I'm not playing those games in my classroom, but I can't force you to learn. I can offer, and I say this all the time to new teachers, you can only offer to someone to learn. They have to want to learn, accept the opportunity to learn, and then the two of you have a relationship to where now I am the giver, they're the receiver, and vice versa, because I am receiving feedback based on what I'm watching from the individuals, and that carries over to my business. When I'm sitting with someone and I'm doing business with them, they have something that I want, a service or finances. I have a service or finances, and we're now sitting down and we're trying to form a relationship that is going to work for both of us. So when roadblocks happen, when we get things that in our way, we have to learn how to get past those or learn to take the positives from them, because it's going to enhance us as an individual. And that really should be your goal, is that when you fill your mind with the things that go on Scope, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, that it's just not mindless minutia. Please don't get caught up into where you're drugged out on Scope, where you're watching every day because you believe you need to, but you're not becoming a better person. That's a form of addiction, and it's not one that's positive. And social addiction is big, and a lot of people don't even realize that they're addicts to social formats. So I realize that I need to come on every day or every day and a half or something like that, but I'm perfectly okay with disappearing for a week or so and then come back on. But then the problem is people's focus disappears, and then you lose the people that were connected to you. So my hope is that I offer something to everyone that comes and pays attention. So let me jump off. Let me go get this ginger ale and go home and cook dinner and start on my plan to get to the mountaintop tomorrow in whatever form or fashion. And again, you can reach me at main office at bravenpublishing.com. That's my email, main office at BRAVIN publishing.com. I'm on Facebook, KL Belvin. I'm on Google Plus, KL Belvin. I am on Twitter, KL Belvin. Also, I am on my company, my publishing company, Braven Books. That's what it is on Twitter. And my website is www.bravin, BRAVIN, bravenpublishing.com. We are a literary service provider, so we actually provide the services for authors to self-publish. So we do the foundation work. We don't do the marketing and promotion. You have to do that yourself, but we create the foundation for you, so you don't have to worry that you don't have a quality product or have quality access to the things that you need. I use my own company to publish my own books. My next book, Lukewarm Saint, is due out very soon. I'm also working on Making Marriage Cool Again, which is it's going to be a small instructional book on just ways to make your marriage cool based on what my wife and I have been able to put together. And I have a bunch of others that I'm working on. So just pay attention, you'll see it. And I'll be popping on here, hopefully daily, if I don't get too bored with it. And hopefully I can bring something to the table that you enjoy and that you learn from. And do not forget that if you're watching this on replay, you may hit hearts during the replay. They load up, and those hearts help to say something to the individuals who may not know me, because some people will only click play based on the number of hearts that they see next to your name. So do not be stingy with the hearts, and I will make sure that when you are doing your scope, I will give you some hearts too. All right, take care, Butterfly. I appreciate you. We have to catch up and talk. You've been ducking me, but it's okay. That's a conversation for another day. We will talk real soon. Take care, love. Y'all have a wonderful day, guys.